I'm Hirohiko Nakahara, Deputy Director General, Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry. I totally thank you for giving this precious opportunity to make this presentation. Today, I'm going to talk about the Japanese regulatory sandbox and what we have achieved so far and the direction we are going to move forward. Especially, I'd like to explain the original purpose of this scheme again and what is different from other countries' similar scheme. The fourth industrial revolution makes it possible for not just entrepreneurs, but traditional companies to create new business models. Indeed, I had met many people who have interest in innovative ideas, but because the current rules don't assume such new ideas, sometimes it's difficult for us, governments, to respond to their requests for regulatory reform. As a result, such entrepreneurs as have intriguing thoughts on new business models did not make them happen. People are good people, just there is much room to be improved in our system. There has been disparity between existing new ideas and ideal regulatory reform. I realize that our governmental institutions are facing the innovator's dilemma situation. Innovator's dilemma is the concept first claimed by Professor Christensen, recently defined and elaborated by the book Lead and Disrupt. Innovator's dilemma tries to solve the puzzle, why do well-managed companies fail? Its conclusion is that they often fail because the very management practice that have allowed them to become the industrial leaders also make it extremely difficult for them to develop the disruptive technologies that ultimately steal away their markets. So organizational alignment, which is critical to the success of the current leading sectors, fosters the organizational inertia that makes it difficult to change, to adapt new strategies. We can say that the current governments, the rules, the current social institutions are in the same situation. Concerning the current existing industries, there are a bunch of sophisticated, intricate rules which make it possible for consumers of such industries to buy their service or products without having troubles. In our bureaucracy, many staffs were assigned in order to run these rules. These people are good at dealing with problems which occur within existing industries or products based on the current intricate rules. But what it takes to execute the current rules differs from what it takes to create new rules in order to put such new innovative ideas into practice. There is organizational inertia in the government system, whether we like it or not. I'm not criticizing our colleagues, I'm not criticizing anybody, but we can say that the more we want to be perfect, the more such inertia works. How can we weaken such inertia? How possibly can we respond to such new innovative ideas? In order to mobilize the current rules or systems responding to new innovative ideas, we have to prove two things: necessity and applicability of creating new business rules. Necessity means that people do really need such new products or services. Applicability means that even if we introduce new rules, there will be no such uncontrollable harmful effects besides benefits. How should we do that? Now, regulatory sandbox came in. Under the regulatory sandbox scheme, in cases where you would like to conduct business activities which utilizes new technologies or new business models, but they conflict with the existing Japanese regulations because they do not assume such new technologies, you can apply to conduct demonstration tests and pilot projects with a limited number of participants who give prior informed consent and within the predetermined implementation periods. At the same time, we have brought institutional changes to the current institutions. Firstly, we have the setup GOJ's regulatory sandbox team in the Cabinet Secretariat, Cabinet Office. Actually, I was head of that team, and that team works as the single window of the government for applicants. It's possible that such a new innovative business ideas, including FinTech ideas, have much to do with many regulations in the different areas. But it's difficult or almost impossible for entrepreneurs to visit many ministries and clarify legal issues. Staff in that teams clarify and suggest which regulations and in which ministries relate to their business models. And it plays a role of advice, consultation, and hands-on supporting. Secondly, we asked every regulating ministries to set up Sandbox promoting team. This promoting team play a leadership role of persuading a regulating team concerning new business models. We expect promoting teams and regulating teams in the same ministry to compete for introducing new ideas into the current rules. The third thing is that actually this is the most important thing. We have set up committees for innovative business activities under the Cabinet Office. Members consist of lawyers, experts of blockchain or AI technology, experts of management, economists, or statisticians, etc. This is the committee to the Prime Minister, and if it reviews the regulator's decision on whether they are going to approve the Sandbox proposal or not, and issues committee's opinion on whether regulator's decision is appropriate or not. Let's see overall pictures in the next slide. Number one, application is submitted. Number one, GOJ's Sandbox team plays a very important role in consultation. Number two, submission of application. Application is submitted to competent ministries. Number three, in the ministries, we expect regulating team and promoting team to compete to get the good answer for the entrepreneurs, as I said before. When the ministries reach the decision, they have to send that decision to the committees. Suppose that a certain ministry do not understand the new technology and seems to reach inappropriate decision. In that case, it's probable that the committee urges the ministry to rethink their decision through the number 4 process. After demonstration, we move to the next step. That is, we would like to extend individual projects into an overall regulatory reform. Next, I would like to explain our goal of regulatory sandbox. Here, I'd like to emphasize 2 things. One is, our goal is not only helping entrepreneurs to test their new products in the live market, but changing the current rules or creating new rules. The second thing is that the 4th industrial revolution is asking us to review and redefine the current institutions, and every industrial sectors can be connected and linked to each other. And so our sandbox areas are not limited to FinTech, but covers all the areas such as financial services, healthcare industries, and mobility, recycling, logistics, etc. FinTech type of ideas can be applied to many sectors. Yes, indeed, entrepreneurs are making much efforts, but they are doing so not because they wanted to be called the FinTech experts, but because they want to solve the social problems through new technologies. It is not good for us to take time in judging whether a certain technology can be defined as a FinTech or not. So far, we have achieved we have authorized almost 20 projects, and 130 entities took part in our Sandbox projects. So today, I'd like to show 3 projects which is related to today's symposium. One is crypto garage case. This project has much to do with the blockchain technology. Those who trade cryptocurrency face counterparty risk, which is those who deliver cryptocurrency first face the risk of not getting the legal currency money, which is a payment. On the other hand, those who pay first face the risk of not getting the key of a cryptocurrency, I should say in this case, delivery. This Sandbox project utilizes blockchain technology to develop delivery versus payment for the settlement of tokenized assets. The result of this project can be applied into tokenization of assets or security token stuff. The second project is done by Kaulis and the Kansai Electricity Power and Bank. So 3 companies which belong to different sectors get together and execute their project. In this case, Kaulis, which is an IT venture company, makes the use of information on electricity facilities that KEPCO, which is an electricity company, has for the provision of Kaulis's existing services for detecting unauthorized opening of bank accounts by customers, so that Kaulis is able to judge whether or not details of an online request for opening a new bank account that the bank has received from a customer are appropriate, and is also able to examine the effectiveness of these efforts. This demonstration is expected to contribute to promoting the establishment of a new business model, which is collaboration between information owned by companies providing public services, public infrastructures, electricity companies, and IT technologies has a potential to address social challenges. Number 3, this is a just in case project. This project poses a P2P insurance project. Traditional insurance projects ask people to buy insurance fees beforehand, and then instance occur, people can get the insurance reimbursement as long as conditions are met. But here is the argument. Insurance companies may have the incentive to say conditions are not met because they don't want to pay more. Of course, people who bought insurance products want to be reimbursed. These inconsistency of incentives may lower the attractiveness of insurance products. Under these insurance projects, insurance fees are post-paid. Fees calculated based on the total amount of insurance money delivered by the number of policyholders. It's just this timing that insurance companies can get rewarded. This project tried to prove that these incentives alignment will increase the attractiveness of insurance products. So far, I explained the 3 cases which are related to today's symposium, but we would like to make much more projects for the future as a Sandbox projects. And next year, I personally think that I'd like to make this Sandbox scheme much more permanent. And Japanese consumers are very sophisticated people, and Japanese society is now entering in the aging society. We have CO2 emission problems, and we have to energize the local economy. In our society, we have lots of social problems, which means that this is the chance for us to get new business, to utilize the new technologies. I'd like to ask many companies to conduct their new technologies here. And I'd like to execute the regulatory reform much more. Thank you.